I already did a mock exam on this and got feedback yesterday. I have to get a grade B, or in general, we have to get a grade B or above in order to pass this test as ECFMG requires. So a grade B would be in every section. If I fail one section, which would be less than a B, a C in writing, I have to take the test, the whole test again, till I get above a B in all the sections. And what else? So this is the writing section, 5 minutes for reading, and the other 40 minutes will be taking notes if I wish, brainstorming, and well, finishing off the whole letter. 40 minutes, which in the end I usually finish this and I have like 5 minutes left or a couple of minutes, so haven't had trouble with that. Think I'll do fine on that one. And now I'm gonna show you the reading part. So, well, gonna show you the listening section. This listening section is A, B, and C. There are 42 questions total. For a grade B, I need a 30 correct or above. So that's grade B. And this is an example of what the listening section A is about. So, see, on this one I got a 75, which is, I think a 70 would be a grade B, so I was close by. But they will give me an audio, and this first section might get quite tricky because I have to fill in the blanks with one word or a phrase. So if you see here, these 1, 2, 3, and 4 are very close together. So I have to be ready to write and not lose the gist of the conversation because 2, 3, and 4 are right beside each other. What has happened to me is that, for example, they give me some seconds to read through these questions before starting the audio, and I understand what they're asking me from 1 to 7 probably, but I couldn't go through 9 through 12. So when I'm around here in question 8, if I am having a hard task or had hard time answering question 8, and I have stayed stuck on question 8, when I notice the patient is saying, I'm generally fit and healthy. So there's where I say, what the fuck just happened? And I just got question 8, 9, and 10 probably wrong because I'm already ready for question 11. So this is something I hope caffeine helps me out with tomorrow, so I don't try to cling on to these questions so much. If I don't get one, just move on to the next. So that's listening part A. Tell me if you're bored.
No, I'm listening. Don't worry.
Okay. So listening part B is as well an audio, and this audio will consist, part B will consist of you seeing this question and you go question per question. So there's one audio for each question. So this isn't as hard as part C, which is a continuous audio. This is one audio. You can read the question, have 5 seconds to read each of the 3 options. Then the audio starts, and when the speaker stops talking, you have 5 seconds before he passes on to talking about the next question. So this is part B. I haven't found any special trouble with part B. And part C is basically the same thing I just showed you, but see, a score of 50. Who knows what happened there? But in this one, so sometimes I stress out. I have to be calm. When I'm calm, anyone which is stressed out is reading the question, and while the speaker is talking, if you're reading one by one very in a concentrated manner, you won't pay attention to what he's saying and you won't get it correct. So something I learned is just read the question, read the options, and when the speaker starts, just try not seeing the options, and when he finishes, use those 5 seconds to see what feels correct and move on and trust yourself, and that's it. So this audio will move on constantly. It won't stop, so you have to be ready when this guy talks about, you have to see special interest in macular degeneration. Okay, so once you think you have the answer, you you have to be ready to what he's gonna talk about in the next question, which is most prevalent aspects of the disease. So you hear that and you can pick up on the answer choice and be ready to move on. That's basically it for listening part C. So we already went through listening, speaking, writing, and we have reading, which is the one that has, I've never failed one of these practice tests. I as I recall, I think so. This one is the one I have to work on the least. Okay, this is the hard part for me. This one, which is this one. This one gave me a hard time, but it was the same thing. I was like stressing and just wasting time and looking at the clock and not looking at the question. So in this one, part A, they will give you 4 different texts, text A through D, and after these texts, what you have to do is not read them profoundly. You just have to understand what does each one talk about. So the first one, they're talking about general things about anemia and general information. Text B is about infants and children, how to treat them. Text C is, okay, an algorithm, probably some numbers and dividing patients in subgroups and how to manage this. And D is, in this case, what are the medications given, doses, and routes of administration and all of this. So then the questions will, in this, the reading part I think is quite continuous, but the first 12 questions will be first, okay, a patient, in which text are they asking you about a child with anemia? So you have to go, okay, children with anemia, text B. That's like the first part. The second part is, in a child with anemia, which is the best with a serum ferritin less than 30, what is indicated? So you'll look for something here and probably replace iron and just fill that in. And that's the first part for the reading exam. Then we have reading part B, which I like this part more because you are actually reading like a text or something, and here they're asking you in part B, they're giving you a paragraph per each question. So what I usually do is I read the question. The code of conduct applies to. Then I go to read the whole extract or paragraph. And after I read this, I just look at the questions and you just feel which one is right if you understood the paragraph, and if not, you have to go back to it. That's basically part B, not that daunting task. And part C is, for example, let's see, part C would be somewhat similar. No, this one, as you can see here, you have 16 minutes, but here they give you like the full text. The full text will be approximately 600 to 800 words tops, and the actual exam will guide you through. It won't ask you questions like the first question won't be of the last paragraph. The first question will actually be of the first paragraph, and if not, it will tell you concisely in the first paragraph. So you just go on to read the first paragraph and go on answering, and the last question, even if it doesn't state it, will be probably of the last paragraph of the text. I haven't had any trouble with time here and have done pretty well on this section. So that's it. And the last section is speaking. Actually, if you want to practice, if you would like to practice in sometime, this there are a lot of tests you can practice. This is for the listening, part A, B, and C. And if you can see here, OET listening test 7, and I've seen that it goes up to test 110. So there's a lot of samples you can use. They are made by someone, I think someone who was studying, because this isn't like the official OET page, but they took it out from there. So although there's some mistakes, of course you'll learn from it. So I just did one. I'm enforcing my listening skills. So on this one, on the one I just took, I got a 35 out of 42. I need more than 30, so I don't care if it's 31 or 30. I just need 30 or above. So yeah, it's not step 2 CK, it's OET, and that's what you need. And do you have any questions up to here?
No, actually, it seems pretty like, yeah, if you're not going to take step 2 CS, or yes, CS, right? Clinical skills, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not going to take 2 CS, then this seems like the type of replacement that they would come up with to ensure that you speak English. But yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, I've had to take, at UNIBE, they make you take 5 terms of English, and I've had to do all of those courses. Of course, I took the Suficiencia exams, but they're all pretty much very similar to this. Reading, writing, speaking, all that. But usually the professor, she knew me at that point. She was letting me pass.
Sorry for interrupting you, Anthony. I didn't get what you said of 5 terms. What does 5 terms mean? 5 courses, or what is it?
When I say terms, usually I'm referring to like a semester or a quarter, or quatrimestre.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 5 quatrimestres. So basically 1.5 or more than 1.5 years worth of useless English courses, and I had to take them at UNIBE because they require it. Even if you're an English speaker, they make you take it. But luckily, I got to just do Suficiencia exams, and they're fairly similar, like in structure. The final, or the sufficiency exam, is fairly similar to this. Mm-hmm. Obviously not as intense, but yeah, it reminds me a lot of wasting time. Those exams.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the mock exam I just took, because I took the TOEIC exam at Centro Cultural before. I actually took it for curriculum, or for the curriculum points for residency matching here, and I got a very good grade. I think these people in language proficiency, they usually use a different grading system, which C1 is the top or the maximum or highest. I think I got like a C2, and they actually invited me to some sort of their library, or I don't know which group they have, Mark Twain Library, I don't know what. And yeah, so I did well on that, and I also did an exam. I'm gonna show you here's the mock exam I took, and this is what has been actually stressing me out, because I took this mock exam basically to reassure myself and to feel calm for the exam, and I actually did pretty bad. But as you can see, there were not many questions, just 6 questions. So once I averaged these 3 numbers, once you get the average, you multiply it by 5, and this gives you like the OET score. So grade B is 350 or above. If you average this and multiply it by 5, you get 320. So I got a grade C on that. So As I already recognized, I was stressed out and just stressing too much. And in the other, I'm doing well in the reading part B, and all the other criteria is okay. But this was the OET, and here is the where is it? OET. Let's see. I have too many emails. Look, 10,356. Have to
Yeah,
erase a lot.
same. Too many.
You too?
Probably not 10,000, but like 9,000. Getting
Okay,
close.
same thing. Basically the same thing. So
Basically.
let's see. Pulse. Well, it's not here. Thing is that I did this OET Pulse exam, and it gave me like a grade C1, which is a good grade because it's not the ABSC for OET. It's just talking about language, so I think I can deal with that. And I'm just trying to reassure myself right now that I'll do fine on the test. Sorry for that, and that's it, man. So
no worries.
Thank you very much. So let's go through. Let's practice with a new card. So I'm going into the OET website, and here there are free sample tests. Free sample tests, okay. Let's see. Prepare. OET. Okay, that's the test I took, the OET Pulse, which gave me good news, but I think I'm asking too much from my computer right now.
Yeah, I think you'll do good. I just think it's like every time I took an English test, I was always thinking, what if I fail this thing? Holy shit. Then I'm going to fail English. Like, that stresses you out more than studying something more complicated and going to take that test. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you almost doubt yourself because you think, oh, I know English, yeah. And then you get in there, and you're like, wait, what if, oh man, what if?
Yeah. I think actually I just read a book. It's called it's called Don't Give a No, Stop Doing That Shit. It's called That's the name of it. It is written by Gary John Bishop. I think that's his last name. And what he actually states is the whole book is talking about how we as human beings are hardwired to constantly be trying to get out of the mud, but be sure to get back into it. And when you're back into it, you have to already keep on planning to get back out of it. So what he's trying to teach is you don't have to go back into the mud. This is your hard wiring. And I guess this is basically or some sort of explanation to facing exams that might not be that hard if you are fully concentrated and calm. But what happens is that you have to increase its complexity and you have to just start stressing. And if you're a couple minutes ahead, you'll start looking at the watch, and that will make you go back to this neutral position. And that's what we have to face, and that's what we face the whole career. But it keeps on biting us in the ass, right?
Yeah.
So
you can't take the humanity out of you.
That's true. So which one do you wanna do? Because there aren't many role play cards, so we can practice with whichever of these professions. It isn't. Well, medicine could be medicine, but I'm not sure if I already took that. If I already did that card, give me a second to check it out. Reading sample, no. Speaking sample warm up. Okay, have to see this soon, but no, not there. Okay, so let's choose one of these and just see what happens. Which one?
Okay.
Maybe this one.
Yeah, occupational therapy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So they won't test this part, actual medical knowledge, and actually the interlocutor isn't a doctor, and the interlocutor will just function doing the role play with me, but I will be graded by someone else. So, and this other person as well isn't a doctor. So we just have to like stick to the card, and
Okay.
they'll evaluate different aspects. We can see it right after. You can grade me right after completing this. So, okay, this is your card. I won't read it anymore. I will just send you a picture on WhatsApp so you have it.
Okay.
And this other one is my card. So, no. Okay, so let's see. I have it around here. Give me a second. So it downloads to the desktop.
All right.
And okay, very well. And actually, I hadn't told you, man, but I am recording this conversation because I wanted to go through the role play after that. If it's okay with you, let me know.
No problem. Just deposit the royalties into my account.
Okay.
No.
Look at this picture. I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. This guy has been a great motivation for me for this 2CK, David Goggins.
I've seen some of his interviews with Joe Rogan, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
On the podcast.
Of course.
He does.
What do you think of him?
Well, right now I can't recall anything specifically, but I like looking at people who, like, I guess you can call them motivational speakers, but it sounds kind of like a cheesy word. It's kind of, anyone can be a motivational speaker, but sometimes I'll hear something and, like, it clicks in my head, and it's like, oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Of course.
But I can't recall anything specifically, but I do remember seeing some videos, like, on YouTube of him explaining, like, he wanted to give up and he found a way, something in his head made him, convinced him that he can go further, and that resonates with me.
That something was when he hit the mother load of cockroaches at the place he worked at, because he was spraying, and he was working at a place spraying for cockroaches. Don't remember the name of the place, but when he saw that, he said, "This is enough. No more. I'm fed up with this," and that's where he decided to change his life. And as you said, anyone can be a motivational speaker, right? But the thing is, if you are actually showing with actions that you have done something, you have accomplished something, or you have pulled yourself through something difficult. So I think he is probably the number one person you could go to, because he has a lot of he has a world record for more pull-ups in 24 hours. He once had that world record. He had to do approximately, not sure how many, but I think it was 20 something pull-ups. Don't remember. It was like 10 to 20 pull-ups per minute for 24 hours, something crazy. So yeah. So you're keep on listening to David Goggins. Good influence. Okay, so now we're gonna tell me. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, I was just saying yes. Like, sure thing. I'm gonna keep when I feel down. I'll keep looking at motivate. Well, like we said, we kind of hate that word motivational speaker, but yeah, look for inspiration. I should say, look for inspiration.
Yeah, of course. And well, great, man. So this card you have in front of you, okay? Um, yeah, I just sent you the patient card, right? Not the doctor's card. Does it say patient?
Yes, it's setting patient task.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I won't see your tasks. I will just see my tasks. You will be on yours. So this will work out with. I will put on a timer, 3 minutes, for you to read your the summary and tasks, and I will start off the conversation. So I will like go through each bullet point, and the way this is structured is that uh, my bullet point, once I like state my bullet point or look for the task in my bullet point, then you will have to counter with the first bullet point, and it's in order, right? And not necessarily each time I speak will be my bullet point, because I may like make an open question, and you might answer it like half of what I'm looking for. So I might go back to another question before jumping to the next. And well, let's just do this. I know that you are highly English proficient and smart, and the thing is, the one that's gonna be tested is me. So don't worry on any hesitations you have. We will work it out, and it will be my job to fix it if it goes broke.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, I have the correct card, right? I thought you just said you sent me the wrong card or something.
No,
I
I
was understand that, right?
Sorry, I was asking if you had the patient card, and you just confirmed that you had the patient card. So I'll be the therapist, since we don't have infinite amount of the medicine or doctor cards. So we'll see how it goes. That's how it goes with occupational therapy.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read this, and the task, that's how I base my response to you.
Yes.
The
So
task.
that's it.
Okay.
So where it says patient, the paragraph you have there, that's like the general feeling you have, what you are suffering, how you feel, your mood and everything. And then when we start off, I will start off speaking, and you will probably have to relate to your first bullet point. So
okay.
and then after you finish that, if I believe I retrieved all the information from that, so I'll go on to the next bullet point, or I'll keep on insisting on that one, and we'll have 5 minutes. So I'll put on the timer for 3 minutes, and once the 3 minutes are up, I'll tell you. I'll ask you to tell me when you're ready. Once you say go, I'll start the 5 minute timer and start off the conversation and see what happens in those 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Got it.
Great. And before we start, this is something they recommend asking, and this is the last point, is before we start, how would you like me to address you? So here it says that you're a 28-year-old professional chef living alone. Okay, you are the patient. It doesn't say your name, so how would you like me to address you?
I guess you could use my name, Anthony.
Okay.
However.
Okay, that's great. So thank you very much, Anthony. Nice to meet you. Okay, 3 minutes.
Nice to meet you.
3 minutes from now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. 1 minute and a half left.
Got it.
Okay. It's somewhat it's interesting because it's occupational therapy.
Yep.
So so you tell me whenever you're ready. I'll start the timer.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready.
Hello, Anthony. My name is Charles